What's up, YouTube? It is your boy Darriusofficiall. I am back with another YouTube video. I feel like everyone needs an outlet to avoid depression. You guys are my outlet. As you can see from the title below, this is my time with the Trent. So I told y'all I'm dropping these videos back to 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 back that. Dropping all these videos really back to back. These bitches really capping, so I call them little hats. I don't give a fuck about that pussy if it's cat, cause I really bring it back like that. Yeah. My time with Trent. If you got me really folded like a pretzel, you get bent. Bitch, I'm heaven sent. I don't give no fuck about these hoes. They look like they lint. Anyway, what's up, y'all? We back with another freaking video, another freaking story time, another freaking my time with Trent. I told y'all I was dropping these back to back just because y'all deserve that, and I feel like I've been slacking. So yeah, so cute, so yeah, so cute, so yeah, so cute, so let's do hurry. All right, so we had left off. Trent came to my house. He was drunk as fuck. Because he was just a fucking goofy. Like, you come to my motherfucking crib because you goofy as fuck, because you ain't wanna fucking, you call yourself trying to fucking ignore me, and then you go to the club and then ignore me and then try to come to my house after I'm in the bed. You're weird as fuck. Dead homie. My soul. No, I'm just playing. But well, yeah, that's what happened, but without all of that extra semantic shit. Anyway, so yeah, so Trent ended up you know, coming to my door. It's probably like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm asleep. So I hear somebody at my door. I go to the door, and it's his ass outside the fucking peephole, drunk as fuck. So I'm like, I open up the door, y'all. I just remember being tired as fuck. I'm like, Trent, what? And he's like, I need to sleep here. I was like, okay. Mind y'all, like, where I had stayed at the time, I was in, well, I guess I could tell y'all where I stayed. I stayed in Memorial at the time, and that was closer than where Trent was staying from the club. Like, yeah, I think I said that right. So basically, I lived closer to the club than he did. Like, Memorial, not that far from downtown. It's not far at all, actually. So the club was probably like 12 minutes away. But yeah, so he was just like, you know, his ass literally drove. And I was like, boy, like, you drove to the club and then left and drove drunk. Like, yeah, boy, bring your ass up here. So mind y'all, he's drunk, and I'm just like, whatever, cool. So I locked the door behind him, and he goes straight to my room. I go in the room, and like, he just kind of like flopped on the bed. Like, he literally just like flopped on the bed, and I'm like, Trent, take your clothes off. He was like, I'm like, okay. Boy, like, y'all, he was so drunk. He was so drunk. I'm taking his shoes off and shit, and then he was like, I got it. He ended up getting up, and he took off his pants, and he ended up taking off his shirt, and then he was like in his underwear. So I'm like, all right. I end up walking off to go in the kitchen to go grab him some water, because I'm just like, boy, like, you're drunk. Like, you're just drunk. So I went to go get him some water. I come back. He's not in the room. He's in the bathroom, and he's hung over the toilet. So now I'm sitting there like, great. Now I gotta babysit your ass. Fucking great, Trent. Just great. Fucking great. You come here fucking drunk after ignoring me, and then you're gonna hang over my fucking toilet? My toilet. You're gonna hang over my toilet, and you're gonna try to release every little demon that you have inside of you. All those spirits, all those, because you know liquor is a spirit. All of that negative, and you know I don't drink liquor anymore, so I get to judge all you hoes that be drinking. I'll be like, oh my god, y'all drunks and y'all alcoholics, and that is the spirit, that is the devil, and you're consuming the devil's juice. You're consuming the devil's juice, and that's not okay, and you need to stop. So yeah, okay, no, but yeah, so I'm sitting there like, oh god. So I walk in the bathroom, I'm like, I sit the water down on the counter, and I'm just like rubbing his back so that he can like, you know, throw up. I'm like, you okay? He was like, I'm never drinking again. He was like, I had so much fun tonight, but I'm never drinking again, blah blah blah. As he's throwing up, I'm like, Lord, I'm like, boy, just get it out, just go and get it. So I'm kind of just sitting there watching, like, while he's throwing up. I'm breaking off pieces of tissue so that he can wipe his mouth and shit. Y'all, it was just a lot. My man was just sick, and I'm just like, that's my man, and I'm gonna stick beside him. Like, that's my motherfucking man, and I'm gonna stick beside him. I'm gonna always stick beside him, because I love him, and he loves me, and we gonna fuck, and we gonna have some babies. Okay, all right. Anyway, so he ended up like taking a break from like throwing up. He's still over the toilet though, but he's just like holding his head, and he ended up asking me, he was like, how was your night? And I was like, my night was cool, as I told you in the messages. And he was like, don't get smart with me, I'm not in the mood. And I'm like, boy, okay, you ain't gotta get no fucking attitude with me because you throwing up. Like, what the fuck, because you got too drunk? Wait, I don't care. Fuck, I should be mad. You just woke me up out my sleep. It's 2:30 in the motherfucking morning. Drunk ass. So, and when, yeah, his drunk ass was just so intrusive though. He was like, that nigga ain't trying to kiss you, D. And I'm like, I told you he tried to kiss me one time. You just swear this nigga just like, every time he see me, he trying to kiss me. So I said no. I said, why wouldn't you answer your phone? He told me, because I was out. Okay, doing what? Like, what the fuck when you answering your phone? phone. Basically just said though how he was just in the section with his people. He just wasn't thinking about his phone. I'm like, whatever, okay, cool. So yeah, he ended up like finished throwing up, and then we ended up going in my room. I laid down and like he kind of like laid on me, like he had his arms like wrapped around. So I was laying on my back and he kind of just like threw like his torso like on mine sort of, and he was like had his arms wrapped around me. And then yeah, like I was just rubbing his head, and I was like, we was both getting ready to go to sleep. Y'all, this nigga like literally was like, I'm thinking he was asleep, but then he was like, I miss you so much. And I was like, I miss you too, Trent. And then he was like, and then it got silent for a little minute, and I'm thinking like he's falling asleep, mind you. Like well, it was like 45 seconds silent. He was like, Darrius. I was like, what? He was like, I love you. Now mind you, me and Trent were already friends before we started talking. We was like really cool. Like we said the word love to each other before, but just more in a friend way, because I didn't know that this nigga like Nick, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like it was more like all right, love, bro, like all right, be smooth, like love you, that type thing. So now he's like, I don't know, I just didn't know how to take it. Honestly, I didn't know how to receive that. So I was like, go to bed, Trent. And he was like, okay. And then we literally just fell asleep. Y'all, next morning I ended up waking up early as fuck, probably like 8. Trent ass was still asleep. He slept in till like 12. Like he slept in so late. Well, I think, yeah, well, that's not that late, but still, he ended up sleeping until like 12. He woke up, he was hungover as fuck. Let's say like 2 days after that, after Trent spent the night at my house, I got a text from my cousin, and she was just basically saying if I could help her. Like, she was doing like this little pop-up shop for her brand. Shout out to her. Shout out to my cousin, dead homies. Yup. Shout out to you, cousin, period. Yup. Shout out to my cuz. Yup, big cuz. Come on, Cuddy. Anyway, yeah, she was doing a pop-up shop for her brand, just, you know, selling the items, that's all, on her website and everything, and that's in her inventory, and she needed help. So she had this club out here in Houston ended up basically allowing her to use the front of the place during like lounge hours, or like, you know, during the daytime and not the club hours, so that she could, you know, set up like everything and, you know, sell it and all that. So she ended up telling me, she was like, yeah, I just need help. Like, I want you to, you know, the people that's walking by, that's coming to get breakfast from the place, I want you to like stop them and tell them like, you know, come over here, you know, come try out this, blah blah blah, come check it out, that type thing. I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, yeah, you could bring a person if you want to, like, you could bring one of your friends, whatever, cool. The more help, the better. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring Trent, like, you know. So I ended up telling Trent about it. He's like, yeah, cool, like I help out with it too. I'm like, all right, bet. So now me, I was just bringing people to the tables, but she had Trent working one of the tables. Now mind you, she met Trent before. Now y'all know too, from that house party that that we was at, that friend whose house it was, that was my cousin's friends first. So my cousin knew all of these people. Like, she knew who Zay was, she knew who my friends was that I met through her, and then she kind of just met like Trent through me. So yeah, I ended up inviting Trent, and he was like, all right, cool. So he was like, what do I need to do, blah blah. I was like, well, you're gonna be working one of the tables, like all the items that's on the table, you just basically, you know, tell them like what it's about and what it does for the skin, all of that. So my cousin ended up sending me like this little e-pamphlet or whatever, that's like talking about, you know, all of the ingredients and stuff that's inside of the products, what the products do, what they're for, all of this, cool, so that he knows what he's promoting. So he ended up saying that he'll work the tables, like he wouldn't mind. I'm like, all right, bet. Now mind y'all, this is all through text, so I'm texting him this and she's texting me everything, boom. So I ended up calling her later on that day. I'm like, hey, like, yeah, did you need somebody else to work the table? Because I was going to invite one of my other friends. She was like, just wanted to do something during that day whenever it had happened. So I ended up calling my cousin. I'm like, yeah, like, do you need more people to fill tables or whatever? Like, she's like, no, I ended up filling all the tables. Everybody got a designated job, so everything's filled. I'm like, all right, cool. I asked her, I'm like, well, who are you at? Y'all, sure shit, no joke, it was me. I'm the one who's bringing all the people to the tables, like stopping people that's walking by, you know, like kind of flagging them down type thing. That was my job. Then you got Trent. Trent was working the table. My bad, y'all. So the camera ended up dying, but I'm just gonna finish it on my phone. So basically, yeah, so it was me basically luring people to the table so that they could buy the products and everything, or see the products. And then it was Trent working one of the tables. It was my cousin and her girlfriend working one of the tables. And then it was the 2 roommates from the party that Trent and Zay had met working the table. And then there was a last table that Zay is working. Like, she was like, yeah, I don't want to put my friend's name out there, so we're gonna call her, we're gonna call her T. So she was like, yeah, and one of T's friends. I'm like, who? She's like, his name is Zay. And I was like, oh shit. Like, and then I literally just gave my whole cousin a rundown of it. She was like, shit. She was like, oh damn, okay. She was like, do you want me to like tell him he can't come? And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, it's okay, because this is all about you. I don't want to fuck your shit up. Like, it's okay. Like, I'll figure it out. Like, we're just gonna work through it. So she was like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. So boom, as soon as I found that out, I text Trent and I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna let you know, Zay will be there. This is not anything that has to do with me, my cousin. We just all got the same friend group. Like, it's just literally what it is. So I don't want you to feel no type of way. Like, if you don't want to do it, it's fine. And he was just like, ... And then he was like, okay, it's like, it's whatever, it's cool. I was like, all right, bet. And yeah, like, I didn't even text Zay because I was like, there's nothing that I feel like I need to text him. Like, you know, it was just like I don't know. He just see me when he see me, I guess. Y'all, that shit was it was just so irritating because it was just like, what the fuck? Like, why? So let's fast forward to that day. That day comes, I end up getting there pretty early so that I could help my cousin set up. Zay ended up getting there too earlier, and my cousin and her girlfriend. So it was me, Zay, my cousin, and my cousin's girlfriend. Trent had to do some stuff right before, so he couldn't like help set up or whatever. And plus, I don't think it was in his plans to help set up anyway. He just was like coming to, you know, work the tables. So yeah, setup took probably like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it probably took like 2 hours. Like, it took us like 2 hours to set up, because we had to put everything on like the tables and just put the tables up, put tents up. Like, it was a lot. Play music. It was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, so basically when I had got there, and my cousin, she was already there with all of her things, and then Zay ended up showing up shortly after me. So when he showed up, he was like, what's up? I'm like, what's up? We spoke. Boom. And yeah, like, it was just kind of like, you know, it was normal shit for real. Like, it was just normal shit. So yeah, now mind y'all, all of this shit is happening early as fuck. So like, we probably started setting up at like, I want to say like 8 o'clock in the morning, and probably finished around like, probably like 10:20, 10:15. But we wasn't gonna actually start like start it until like probably like 11:30, 12, because obviously the people that's coming to this club during the day, it's like a brunch place. Like, it's like you get breakfast, food, that type thing, mimosas, whatever, cool. So we was just gonna wait until like, you know, like, okay, brunch hours, that type thing. So you know, we end up having like, I want to say like 45 minutes in between us, like, actually, you know, just having free time. Boom. So somewhere throughout that time, Trent ends up showing up, and Zay's nowhere to be found. I don't know where he went, but I'm just kind of like watching the tables, and my cousin is kind of like, you know, doing last minute setup stuff with her girlfriend and all of that. Like, we all in the same area though. So Trent ends up parking. He ended up walking up. He was like, what's up? I'm like, hey, good morning, what's up? And he ended up asking like what table he's supposed to be working, and I ended up showing him the table, and like, he already memorized all of the products. And so yeah, he was like, all right, bet. Like, cool. Now, the way that the tables were, it was 4 tables total. Trent was working one, Zay was working one, my cousin and her girlfriend was working one conjoint, like, and then the 2 roommates were working one conjoint. So it was Trent on the very end, Zay was on the other end, my cousins was like in the middle, but towards the left, closer to Trent, and then the 2 roommates was closer to Zay. So boom. By time, so now it's time that everybody go to their tables, you know, just kind of like get ready and shit. So Zay's at his table. So now it's time for like everybody to go to their table and everything. So my cousin kind of like calls us all over, and she's just like, you know, come here real quick. So we all go to her table. Now, mind you, this is the first time that Trent and Zay have saw each other since, you know, that night. And so now we all just kind of there. So they didn't even say anything to each other for real. They kind of like just made like eye contact, and boom, they was just like, whatever. I was like, get it how y'all can, as long as y'all don't argue, get into whatever. I'm cool with it. Be smooth, be cool. This is my cousin shit, and I will fuck both of y'all up over. I don't play about her. So yeah, she ended up just making sure that everybody got everything that they need to. And so Trent's like, I'm good. Zay's like, I'm good. And then it was like, all right, cool. Like, you know, go to y'all table. Mind y'all, oh yeah, T and the 2 roommates, they end up getting there too. They not really a part of the story though. Like, they just, whatever, cool. So they all go to their table, and obviously I don't have a table. Like, all of the tables, I'm going to obviously be at all of the tables eventually, like, or like in and out, but my goal is to grab people. Hey, yeah, like, do you use skincare products? Yada, 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 such and such. Come, okay, well, I got something for you. Let me show you. Boom, come to the table. So boom, I end up seeing like this group of girls end up walking into, like, about to walk into the place. I'm gonna just call it the brunch place right now, y'all, because it's really like a lounge during the day for brunch and stuff, but club at night, as I stated. So yeah, they about to walk into the little lounge place or whatever, and I end up stopping. I'm like, hey, like, y'all so pretty. It was like, oh my god, thank you. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what y'all got going on? Like, you know, they end up telling me that they was finna go get brunch, and I said, okay, cool, y'all got some pretty ass skin. I'm like, what skincare products do y'all use? They end up telling me some shit. Somebody said Fenty, somebody said Curology. Boom. I said, okay, cool. I said, let me show y'all, you know, this black owned business is, you know, it's a really good skincare product. Y'all, like, come slide over there. It's like, all right, cool. I'm like, yeah, like, this the whole setup. I was doing my shit. Like, I was doing my big, you know what I'm saying? We getting them people in, y'all. We getting them people in. I'm steady watching the table with Trent. I'm steady watching the table with Zay, making sure like they just like, they cool. You know what I'm saying? Because neither one of them really not saying shit. Like, they just focus on the job, the task at hand, which is really cool. So to fast forward, we ended up getting like towards the end of the event or whatever. Mind you, it probably lasts like everywhere from like, I think it was out there for like 4 hours, no joke. So yeah, the whole event probably took about 4 hours. So when it was done, we had to basically break down everything and pack everything up. So everything went so well. But then, y'all, Zay is, so look, basically it was 3 boys and it was 4 girls, right? So the girls were just doing like all the easy stuff, and we was like grabbing the big shit, like the tables, breaking down the tents and stuff. So my cousin table, so all of the tables were the same size essentially, except for my cousin's table. Since she had the main table, hers was like bigger with a lot more stuff on it. So it took all 3 of us to carry it. So me, Trent, and Zay are carrying the table. So mind you, it's just kind of like silent. We're not really saying anything. So we take the table back to the truck, and then we come back to grab another one. My cousin's still like taking stuff off the table. So all the girls are kind of like taking everything off the table. So, you know, we just kind of waiting on them to do that. Mind you, we all by each other, but we're not really saying anything. Like, it's just kind of like, you know, time to break down. Music's playing. This nigga Zay says, oh, Darrius, did you ever hang up that picture? And I was like, no, not yet. And my cousin was like, what picture? And I was about to hurry up and interject and be like, oh yeah, like we went to this little art show and like, you know, I ended up getting a picture. But loudmouth Zay over here said, we had went to this art show the other day. He saw this Frank Ocean picture that he wanted, so I bought it for him. I just kind of literally just put my head down, kind of like, and I'm just like, now I'm helping to move stuff off the table. And then I could just feel the tension. Like, I just knew some shit was gonna happen. So Trent had like some boxes or something in his hand, and he just dropped them and he just walked off. And my cousin was like, ooh. And so I looked at Zay, I was like, really? Like, thanks a lot. And he was like, what? And I'm just like, so I walk off and I go like, run after Trent real quick. He's walking towards his car. So I'm trying to hurry up to catch up with him. I'm like, Trent. He was like, save it, Darrius. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, wait, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, because it's not this serious. I promise. Like, let's talk about this. He was like, I thought y'all was just friends. I was like, we are. He was like, okay, so why is he buying you pictures? I said he wanted to. I said that I was going to buy it, but he ended up offering to buy it. So I'm just like, okay, I feel like it was rude if I said no, which I did say no, but he still insisted on buying it. So he was like, I don't know, this shit just seemed more of a date, like a date to me. And I was like, it wasn't a date. Like, I promise you, like, I didn't do shit with that man, like, literally. Like, if only you could see how I was acting that night. He's like, bro, it's obvious this nigga likes you. And yeah, I was like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, I don't like him. Like, even today, like, I didn't know he was gonna be here. Like, yeah, I knew, but I asked you when you said it, yes, it was okay, like, it was fine. And this is not in any of my doing, like, boom. So mind you, we're at his car right now, and like he's trying to get in his car, like, but like we're talking to each other face to face, but you can tell like he was about to fucking leave. I'm like, Trent, it's not that serious. I said it's not that serious. He just bought me a picture. Trent was one jealous ass nigga. Like, he was one jealous ass nigga. Like, you didn't go get head. I have to keep saying that. Like, you didn't go get head. Nigga, you went to go get head. Give me head. Top. Like, do I have to keep saying it? So boom. So I'm like, Trent, it's just a picture. He was like, okay, what was the picture of? I was like, it was Frank Ocean. He was like, why you just ain't get it yourself? I said, I told you he wanted to get it. Now he asked how much the picture cost. I was like, it was like $350. He was like, that nigga spent that much on you? I was like, yeah. Like, he was like, that nigga likes you, bro. I'm like, Trent, can you just let it go? I'm like, come on. He was like, no, I'm finna leave. I was like, what? You about to leave? I'm like, we ain't even finished breaking down. He was like, tell your cousin I'm sorry, but like, I gotta go. I'm like, bro. I'm like, can you, like, what? I'm like, don't leave. Like, no, like, if anybody, I want you to stay. Like, don't leave. He's like, no, because I already was like iffy with being in this nigga face. And like, he was like, you don't even know, but this nigga just been making like little slick comments all day and like just looking at me a certain way. Like, I'm not fucking with it. He was like, so I'm gonna just leave before I get into it with his ass again. And I'm not trying to disrespect your cousins. So I just told him, I'm like, Trent. Y'all kept saying his name. This nigga literally just looked at me and he just got in the car and like backed out the spot. And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, so now I walk back to the front of the building and it's literally all of them. They just right there. Like, you could tell they was just talking about it. So I walk up and I just look at Zay and I'm like, I couldn't even say nothing. I just looked at him. I'm like, he was like, my bad. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. And I just rolled my eyes and I just finished like helping clean up and shit and all of that. Yeah, that nigga pissed me off that day. Cause I was like, so now we're finally done. And my cousin offered for us to, like, stay after, go grab some food, whatever, you know, do something fun and celebrate. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. I'm finna go home. Like, I'm ready to go home. So she was like, okay. She was like, well, I'll see you later. I love you. I was like, all right. Zay is somewhere like
how can I put it? Zay was close, but he wasn't close. He was with the roommates. Like, so he was still outside. We all still outside of the building, but he's further down. So I just kind of say bye to my cousins, and I'm just like about to walk off. Like, I don't even want to go over there and say bye to my other friends because Zay's right there, and I just don't. So I start walking towards my car. I probably get like pretty close to my car. Like, I'm in the middle of the parking lot now. And Zay's like, Darrius, wait. And I'm like, I turn around. I'm just like, oh, brother. And then I literally just turn around and I keep walking back to the car. Y'all, as I'm about to put like my hand on the handle to open up my car, Zay grabs me, like grabs my arm and kind of turns me around. He's like, pulled me back. And I'm like, what? He was like, I'm sorry, like my bad. I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a thing. I said, Zay, you know what you were doing. I said, this is exactly what I was trying to say. Like, I don't want shit to get weird. I don't want shit to get mixy. Like, just be cool. He was like, what was I doing that was so wrong? You sat there and asked about a picture from hella nights ago when you could have been asked that. Or you could have asked it at any other time if you really gave a fuck if I hung that picture. So mind y'all, he trying to sit there, he trying to plead his case. I'm just like, bro. And I just told him, I'm like, look, I'm like, right now, it don't matter what you say, what you apologize about. I just need a second, like, cause now you done fucked up with me and Trent, and we already rocky. Like, come on, like, you just doing too much. So I ended up just telling him, I'm like, I just need a second. And he was like, all right. So I ended up just leaving, didn't even say bye. I just left and I went home. And yeah, we don't stop there though, y'all. Yeah, so how y'all enjoying this so far? Like, how's it going? Leave a positive comment down below. Please let me know. Please let me know how it's going, okay? Period. Anyway, I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, click that bell on the side so that you can be notified. Make sure you tell a friend or two because it is good for you. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in my next YouTube video. Bye!